Now it's that time again where we head over to join Mr. Ben Thomas in the virtual studio, this time for a conversation with Craig Frankenstein. Ben, over to you.
Well, hey, thanks, Ben. As you mentioned, we are headquartered here in the West Hall, and while you're visiting our friends over in the Central Hall and those Sure folks, we got a lot of other things happening in the Central Hall. One of those things is eSports Live, run by my good friend, Mr. Craig Frankenstein. Craig, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Ben.
Now, Craig, for the benefit of the folks who haven't been able to go to the Central Hall yet, or maybe the folks that are watching at home, can you explain a little bit about what eSports Live 2.0 is this year?
Sure, absolutely. So back at Central Hall, giant stage, 6 competitive teams doing tournament gameplay all week. There's interviews, collaboration panels, and a lot of information and just culture of esports. You're going to meet the players, you can see the tech, you can see what a live esports tournament looks like, you can experience it.
Well, look, if somebody comes in, I know that there's been a lot of great programming so far. Like I said, this is day 2 of the show. Whether it's a tribute to a great friend, Brad Sousa, or a lot of great programming happening, what's been happening so far that people have seen, and maybe what are some of the things on the calendar that people can look forward to?
Sure. So I'll take you back yesterday when we kicked off with the ribbon cutting. It started with a really wonderful tribute to Brad. And Brad Sousa was instrumental in the creation of this program last year. In fact, it was a group effort between AVIXA and AVI Systems. And Brad was one who was all about the people. So he liked the idea that esports is something that takes technology and the younger generation and combines it to create human impact. And that meant a lot to him. So that was part of why we did it last year. It was a success. So the idea this year is let's go bigger. Let's bring more teams in. Let's level up the production. And that's exactly what we did.
Well, Craig, it's funny, you know, this being year 2, there's been a lot of growth that's happened so far. You mentioned whether bringing more teams and bringing more eyeballs and folks over there. What are some of the successes that you've seen from year 1 going into year 2?
Well, the audience has grown. What we've done is we've enabled more and more individuals, universities, the folks who are part of that community. By showing it here, we're introducing them to the AV world. And that's what InfoComm's all about.
Well, you know, esports is really kind of a gateway for a lot of folks into the industry for the first time, right? You and I had a chance to talk a little bit off screen where folks find their footing in the broadcasting side of things and you know, streamcasting and even playing and things like that. How have you seen esports kind of be that gateway into our community?
Right, so I come from broadcast, that's my background. So when I first found out about esports, and Brad actually educated me a lot about what it was, and I understood the broadcast and the technology, but seeing the community and what it does at the collegiate level, bringing individuals in who might not necessarily be gamers or might not be on camera, there's a whole team of people supporting them. They're part of that community, they're interested in that tech. They might be gamers at heart, but they just want to be there to support it. So it's bringing all these individuals into lanes in a university or a college and helping them all the way through the edge of their career.
Well, so I want to ask, esports is obviously a topic of conversation every single year here at InfoComm. There's a lot of folks asking how they can get involved, whether it's a manufacturer from a product development standpoint or folks like AVI Systems who have an incredible voice in that community. How can people at InfoComm specifically kind of get involved in that world?
Oh, go to the esports booth, first of all. Back at Central Hall, check it out. There's a bunch of people there and a lot of contacts, whether it's at the collegiate level, the manufacturer level, or the integration level. There's tons of opportunities depending on where you are and what lane of business you're in. There's a lot of opportunities to get involved and support that community.
Well, Craig, want to give you a shameless place to plug AVI Systems a little bit. You guys have been doing some incredible work, not only at the stage, but in that community as well. What are some of the things happening from an esports standpoint at AVI Systems?
Sure, so again, back to Brad, tribute, who sadly can't be here today, but Brad understood where that was going to go. He saw the vision of where it was going to be in the trajectory going up, so we agreed to commit to helping the universities, helping the individuals around the technology, the part that AVI does really well, to enable them. And we've even come in with other individuals who can help develop the program, the academics, all of that, to enable the universities and the colleges to get there. What do we do well? We do programming, we do broadcast, we do production. That's really our strength, but knowing that the outcome is really the human impact of the individuals, we want to bring the team together, help those organizations build those programs to enable that community and grow.
Well, Craig, I'll tell you what, I know there have already been conversations about what that looks like next year. Hopefully we see an eSports Live 3.0. Can you give us a tease? What can people maybe expect from the show next year?
So we said the same thing after last year. We asked, was it a success? We believe it was. There was a lot of activity, a lot of eyes on it, a lot of talk. This year we leveled up. We have more teams, more competitive gameplay, larger stage, better production. So at the end of this, we'll do the same thing. Examine, was it worth it? Do we go bigger and better? And if we do, you know, in the production world, the technology leaps and bounds every year. So this year you're seeing a lot of live production. Who knows, maybe next year you'll see a little more AR, a little more XR. You'll see where technology is taking folks to, again, level up. take the production you have, look at it, and if we're going to do it 12 months from now, what does that look like? Technology is going to take us there.
Well, Craig, there may be some folks listening and watching now who might have some questions about how they can get involved, whether it's from a sponsorship standpoint next year or maybe it's just from an industry standpoint. How can people reach out to you to talk with you about that?
So avisystems.com is the easiest place. You can get a hold of me. You can find me on LinkedIn. If you're here at the show, I would encourage you to get over to Central Hall, check out the eSports stage in the back. There's a lot of individuals. There are a lot of different opportunities. The manufacturer partners have been fantastic, and I really want to call out all of the vendors that supported us, from NewTek Viz, QSys, the list goes on and on. They were great because they recognized the value prop that we were bringing and the fact that we were helping the community, and they are all on board with helping us. So it was a joint effort between all of them. If they want to get involved, either head over to the booth or stop it or go to avisystems.com.
Well, Craig, I'll tell you what, I know you're probably going to get some LinkedIn messages and emails here soon because a lot of folks have a lot of great questions about esports. Thank you so much for your work, not only at eSports Live last year, this year, and going forward, but also as part of a member of the esports community. Thank you for your contributions.
Thank you.
Well, and thank you, Craig, and also thank you to our friends over at Yamaha. We had a chance to sit down with them. Check out our interview now.